Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this, and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Hey mama, this is another episode of the Entering Motherhood podcast. This specifically is a doula talk episode, which if you don't know, we go live on Instagram every Tuesday around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And by we, I mean me and Katelyn, who is the co-creator of our signature Own Your Birth childbirth education course. Please go look at that if you are looking for a childbirth education course. It's our signature Own Your Birth self-led online comprehensive course, and it is just packed with all the information that you will need to be able to feel informed and empowered as you navigate this stage of pregnancy and leading into birth and even the postpartum period. So we are so excited about that course, and we have been chatting and having these doula talks to provide you with more information to really own your birth and have information that maybe you didn't know or refresh your memory on things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you ever have any topics that you feel like you would want to add or hear, if you have any questions, then please reach out to us and let us know so that we can include it in these episodes and in these conversations that we are having for you to really feel informed and empowered. So let's get this episode started. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another doula talk with Katelyn and I. I'm just waiting for Katelyn to join us now, and we will get started. She should be jumping on here shortly, and we are talking about when things don't go as planned. I guess more specifically during birth, but also just pregnancy, postpartum, everything, motherhood, and just kind of working through that, coping with it, acknowledging it, everything else that comes with it. So
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that this would be a fun topic. Maybe not fun, but a good topic to cover. Because, I mean, birth is so unpredictable. And even like into postpartum and stuff, like you don't get to make the decisions for other people. You know, you can tell them what you want, what you don't want, but people are still going to do what they want to do. And so learning how to navigate that.
Yeah, and I'd say even like pregnancy and postpartum is unpredictable. Like we can, read all the books and do all the things and think that we know, what's going to happen and everything. Like I know, like all the what to expect and things like that. Like that's like textbook version of what might happen.
Yeah.
But then there's also just all of these things that come up because we're individuals. We have unique experiences, and there's going to be something that you feel differently or experience differently or have happen to you that isn't the same as everybody else. Or, maybe there are some similarities or similar stories. And I think that's always helpful too. Like when something doesn't go as planned, like let's find out, there's something at the anatomy scan that you weren't expecting. Or, you have gestational diabetes and that's something that you weren't planning. Preeclampsia, like other different things that can come up during pregnancy that obviously you had no idea that was going to happen, and you had not, necessarily planned for those things. But now here you are, like making these decisions, and sometimes it is very, quick action decision making, and even finding out that you're pregnant sometimes can be unexpected.
Yeah. It certainly can be. I know when we found out we were pregnant with Solomon, my oldest, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like we were not planning on getting pregnant at that point. But yeah, I think so. For me, my personal opinion is, and we talk about this a lot in our course, and like our birth vision planner that we have kind of goes over this a little bit too, but like find your big picture goal. Like, name your big goal for your pregnancy, birth, postpartum. It can be the same, it can be different, but just have that one goal. And then when something arises, because I mean, it's something's probably going to arise during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. When something comes up, just say, okay, how can I make this to where it still honors that one goal? Whether it be super basic, like have a healthy baby, or whether it be a little bit more like, have an autonomous birth or have an autonomous, it can be literally whatever.
Right.
And so just go back to that one goal and say, okay, this is not what I wanted, not what I planned, but how can we pivot to where it still honors my wishes?
Right.
You know? And I think just being able to ground yourself in that really helps with decision making and stuff like that. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, a lot of times, and it doesn't have to be like something like super specific. Like, I
Mhm.
want to have a vaginal birth at the hospital at 10:45 on Wednesday. It's really that like big vision. Like, I want to feel empowered. I want to feel supported, throughout my pregnancy. I want to feel cared for and nourished and
Mhm.
loved. Like, it's really kind of like maybe focusing more on like the feelings and the overall like longevity of things, and
Mhm.
really just like I want to feel more at peace about the decisions that I make. I want to feel like I did all that I could to make my birth be what it is, but know at the same time that if things change, like, I'll still feel supported and heard, and like
Mhm.
the decisions that I made were mine.
Yeah.
And so really just kind of like going through that, and like again, like with that big vision, that big like overarching, you know, uh, view, and understanding and knowing that things might not go as planned, and you're going to have to pivot, and you're going to have to adjust, and really just kind of like again like being sure in your decisions, because I think that's what it comes down to. It's like, oh, like coulda, shoulda, woulda, all these things that we can like linger on and think back to. And I think, with my
Mhm.
first birth experience, that is very much like I just felt like I needed to like replay it. What could we have done differently? And in the end, sometimes it really is like you did everything. You did all that you could.
Yeah.
You tried all of the tricks, and again, like back to, if there's something that's on the anatomy scan, like you didn't do anything wrong. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing that you could have done to avoid that, or change that or adjust that. It's just,
Mhm.
something that's unpredictable, that's really just like coming
Mhm.
at you now, and it's a matter of like how are you going to navigate this, and how are you going to move forward to feel more aligned with just your whole motherhood experience. Because even postpartum and raising kids, it's one of those things where it's like you're learning these lessons now, so that like it can better support you and better serve you throughout your motherhood experience. Because I feel like in life, like we're always just kind of like thrown these repetitive lessons
Yeah.
until we really learn to, like, maybe you need to learn more patience. And so like things are like, coming at you fast, and you feel really rushed, and all of these things are happening, and it's like because you just need to take a second and slow down, and like look around you, and have more patience with that, or whatever it might be. And I think we all have those experiences. We all have things happening in life that are
Yeah,
just,
for
you
sure.
know, they're serving us. And,
Yeah, and I think, like, coming into it with the mindset of, like, what can I learn from this? What can I do? But also, you don't necessarily have to do anything, like, you don't have to always be running and doing, like, there's lessons to be learned by just sitting too,
Mhm.
but kinda going back to the, you know, when something goes, like, not as planned, just sitting down and also like communication with the provider, with your partner, with, whoever's supporting you at that point is huge because not only is it going to give you maybe, especially with your provider, a little bit more information, but also with like the people around you, you might get some more opinions or some more like resources to learn how to handle things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And even, like afterwards too, like maybe something didn't go as planned during your birth or whatever it might be. Like take time to rest, take time to heal, take time to recover, like things like that. But then also like if you still feel like you're getting hung up on certain parts or you're reliving certain moments or you feel like something was traumatic or like whatever it might be, like again, like express that to your partner, communicate that with people around you. Like if you feel like therapy might be helpful and useful, a support group, like whatever it might be, like just talk to somebody about the things that you're feeling and what you're going through. Because if we keep it in and we, don't express that or we don't let anybody know, then it is going to feel very lonely. It is going to feel like we don't have anybody that understands. But most of the time when we do open up and we do express our feelings and we are, explaining, what went on or we're just like reliving these moments of, it didn't happen how I expected or it didn't go as planned. We're able to find that support and we're able to have, like that full circle healing and navigating it. So that's usually
yeah.
helpful.
Well, and I think too, like it's so important to work on like letting that stuff out because the body does hold on to trauma and it will come back up at some point or another, whether it be in a future birth, whether it be just in raising your child or day-to-day life, but it's more than likely going to come back up. So letting it out and, just talking to somebody, it doesn't have to be paid therapy, but it's helpful. Like if that's something that you think would be good, then go for it. Like
Yeah.
there's no shame in
Right.
seeking out help whatsoever
Yeah.
at any point.
Yeah, and I feel like, there's a lot of mom groups. There's even, if you don't have good like friends in the area or family that you can like talk to. And like I always say, like if it's like you're going to like maybe a support group or something that's not like quite like structured or professional setting or anything like that, and you're finding like you're just going there and complaining or like moping or feeling like not good afterwards, like, maybe, like, you go or you talk to a friend and you're like, "Yeah, this happened to me," and they're like, "Ah, whatever, like, forget about it, like, who cares?" Like, they're not really feeling like they're, like, hearing you and listening to you and, like, understanding what you're saying, and, like, it doesn't make you feel better afterwards, it doesn't, make you feel like like, it's just, like, it's worse. Like, it's like, "Okay, like, this was not productive. This was not helpful." Or maybe they start just talking about, like, "Oh, yeah, me too. Like, that happened to me." And, like, "Oh, yeah, it happens to everybody." Or it's just something that, like, moms go through. Like, if it's just kind of like you're like, "This doesn't feel like the solution," I encourage you to just keep on finding somebody else or seeking other resources. And that's why I say, like, professional help is just different sometimes because, like, they are, unbiased. They're there to hear you, support you, be with you. And sometimes there are even local therapy offices and such that do free support groups or have, like, something that's a little bit more structured in a professional setting that is free. And so, like, I just encourage you to, like, find something that, like, you go to that you feel good about, or at least, like, you feel, like, a little bit better about, like, the situation afterwards, or find that friend.
Somewhere where you feel like
Yeah,
heard and seen and like
yeah,
you can just open up and not constantly get dismissed or
right.
judged or whatever
Yeah,
because
because like,
that's not
mom
good. That's not where you
right.
want to open up.
Like, mom groups can be kinda, like, catty sometimes, or, like, maybe you post, like, something and they're like, "Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah," and, like, it's just, like, a bunch of nonsense, and, like, nothing really feels like a solution or, like, you even gotten anywhere. Or maybe now you're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that," and now there's, like, other things to worry about or think
Yeah.
about or be afraid about or whatever it might be, and so that doesn't
Yeah.
serve you. And so sometimes it's good to just kind of like take a step back, find somebody who like resonates with you
Mhm.
and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And if y'all have any questions, whether it's about this topic or other topics, like send us a message, comment. We love talking this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
if you're a part of our course, we have a private Facebook membership that you get also
Mhm.
included in. And so you can ask these questions in that private setting. You can, message people in there and talk about things in there that, Katelyn and
Mhm.
I are directly a part of, and we're answering
Mhm.
questions. And our goal is to help you feel seen and heard and not feel
Yeah.
judged and feel like you can express yourself or ask, weird questions or awkward questions or things
Yeah.
that like you just want to know the answers to, that hopefully, if we don't know the answer, we can find the answer,
Yeah.
or maybe there's a lesson in our course that is exactly what you need to hear.
Mhm.
So we just, love what we do, and
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a long process, and crazy births, and I've been in and out of the hospital since Thursday helping clients, and so I'm finally like home, well rested and showered, and getting back to life before my other births come. So, but we love it. We absolutely do. And even postpartum care, I love just, I just got an update from one of my postpartum clients that the baby's 3 months old now, and it's crazy. But,
Yeah. Uh,
you know.
that saying babies don't keep, it makes me so sad. It's like the most bittersweet thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
Your mom, but all right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. And, if you need anything, we're here. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.